I, Binu Verma Wagela, is really thankful to Thought Habitat for choosing me for their first edition of Thought Talks, which I am sure which will be another very successful venture with all walks of people talking their hearts out in this talks. Uh, I have to speak on women empowerment and what it actually means for Indian women. So, I start from here. My belief has been look like a girl, act like a lady, think like a man, and work like a boss. So, this has been my diktat, and life has gone on these principles only, always. But what is real women empowerment? Is there something called women empowerment? Yes. Here, any empowered woman should realize her self-worth. She has the choice of making choices about her life and opportunities, equal opportunities and access to the opportunities which make her grow. And she has power to run her house as well as her outside world and to influence the social and economic parlance of the country. Then only she is an empowered woman. So these are sounding like talks? Not really. Me as an ordinary woman, how I empowered myself from a very vulnerable teenager of the 70s to the empowered woman of 2000s. I would like to share my journey from here. I was born into a middle class family where my father was a public sector executive and my mother was a homemaker. So, though that was the norm, we were two children, myself and my brother, and my mother was educated, came from a very good family and very emancipated woman of those times. But she was made to live a very oppressed life after marriage in her marital home. She used to do gungat, then she had no opinion of her own on any topic. She was not made to study further. She was not made to take up any job. Her world was confined to four walls of the house. As a young girl, I always thought, is this the life of a woman in India? Am I going to lead this life? So, while growing up, I became a rebel from inside. No, I am not going to succumb to this life. And if marriage is this, very sorry. So, as a child, as a growing up child, as a growing up girl, I started giving big fight to the family members. And considering that the times changed, my mother studied further and she also emerged as an empowered woman in due course of time. Nobody wants to give me any credit for that, that's fine, but if they give, I will oblige. Thank you. So that was the role and that was the childhood. But I will tell you, the family which was so, so tough for my mother, for a daughter-in-law, they were very, very good to their granddaughter, me. Like I was given full opportunity, I was sent to best of the school. There was lot of focus on my studies. My father was very ambitious about me that I become something someday, a very educated girl. And he was very proud about it that I was very good in studies and I will bring him good name. And I was sent from school to outside towns for debates, for dance, for music. I took part in lot of extracurricular activities and I troubled my parents a lot. Ye chahiye, wo chahiye, ye dance, wo music. But that is another story. So I bloomed. But I never forgot what my mother had to undergo in those days. So I started studying. I will narrate an incident here that freedom was given to me, but it came with certain caveats. It's not that it was total. I was totally free to think about my life or think about the scenario, whatever. My father used to visit noted lawyer Ram Jethmalani ji for some of his office cases. And the next day he used to narrate us the stories, how dynamic is he and how he handles cases, how he gives attention to the details and what a celebrity like lawyer he is. So I told my father, मैं भी क्रिमिनल लॉयर बन जाऊँ? My father said no. This is not the career for girls. You focus on your sciences, become a doctor, and forget about these careers, becoming a lawyer or whatever. I ठीक है. I I was good in sciences. At the same time, I was good in languages also. So I started studying for CPMT. Appeared in CPMTs, but could not make a cut there. There were very few medical colleges, but that is not the excuse. What is not to happen did not happen. I immediately changed gears. Taking cognizance of my very good meritorious course in English language, I switched to English honors course. Having no iota of any plans that what I will do after English honors, whether I will be able to continue with English honors, nothing. I just enrolled myself in a very prestigious college of Delhi. I was lucky to get admission there based on the interview and on my marks, and I started studying. As soon as in the last year of college, I thought I will do media studies. Media was just evolving that time. And there was only one channel, Doordarshan and Prasar Bharati and some other things. But ठीक है. I said I will take up media studies. And I told my parents that I am good in writing, so I will take up journalism as mainstream. They were supportive, but the people around me were like, अरे जर्नलिज्म पढ़ के क्या होगा, कौन इससे शादी करेगा, जर्नलिस्ट लोग क्या होते हैं, वो तो ऐसे ही पढ़ बन जाते हैं, उसके लिए मीडिया स्टडीज़ करने की क्या ज़रूरत है, पढ़ाने की. आई फेस्ड ऑल दैट, but I stuck to my guns. I studied, I came up with a gold medal, but life was going very smooth. I was in the choice of my course, scored good marks, everything. But as I was about to appear for my final media studies exams, I lost my father to massive heart attack. That was on 10th November 1984 when Indira Gandhi has just died. And the atmosphere you can imagine. And you can imagine what as the family we had gone through. With no support system in sight, we were like left to fend for ourselves. So life came from a public sector, high placed officials to a daughter of nobody. The struggle began. People advised ये जॉब कर लो, टीचर बन जाओ, असिस्टेंट टीचर बन जाओ, टाइपिंग सीख लो, स्टेनोग्राफर बन जाओ, कुछ भी कर लो. My mother did not succumb to these ideas. She said, no, you finish your studies, take up a proper job, whenever that will happen, it will happen. Tough times don't last, but tough people do. So we could land up in a good job. I got a good job, it was in a good office, everything was going in my favor. But I noticed that my struggle had not ended here. The office atmosphere was not very conducive to the women working, the young girls working that time. 1 year elapsed, I worked very hard, did good work, lot of praises. When I asked my boss for a promotion, he said, अरे तुम्हारी तो अगले साल शादी हो जाएगी, तुम्हारा प्रमोशन करके एक सीट ब्लॉक करने का क्या फ़ायदा है, आई एम नॉट कंसिडरिंग इट. So the times were, it was a stopgap arrangement for women to complete their studies till the time they got married. Job was that option. Whereas I rebelled there also. I raised my voice and went to the very senior most officials in that company and told him that I may be given a chance to present myself for an interview for a promotion next year. He listened to it. He was kind enough. And I got a promotion. So things started looking up. I was working very hard, and the circumstances were very difficult for me. Never mind. I was a happy-go-lucky girl. Kept working, kept changing jobs, risen from one ladder to another, and finally I got a very prestigious job as class 1 officer in UP government. So now I had a government accommodation, a bungalow and a car and everything, whatever a young girl can dream of. So it was a dream life. Now another sort of struggle. Now you will ask me, what kind of struggle you can have now? The marriage. I was a dusky complexioned, petite frame, girl. So, and my position was big and my communication skills were high. So, I was not considered as a good marriage material. Like the school pass girls, ladies, the mothers of the boys said, नहीं नहीं कॉम्प्लेक्शन तो बहुत ही डार्क है, डार्क कॉम्प्लेक्शन है, हाइट इतनी शॉर्ट है, हमें नहीं चाहिए. So right from the mothers of IS officers, engineers, doctors, writers, whatever in every possible career under this planet who were considered as potential for me, rejected me on this pretext: complexion, height, and probably no dowry, because I was already working on a big position, and my views. So it was a lost game. There was a kind of, so you can imagine the struggle and the disbalance. Here in my office, I was leading a big team. I was visiting Mayawati ji on a regular basis for her inputs as I was handling in Ministry of Industry. So she was also Industries Minister under her portfolio. So very empowered woman in every respect. And here I was at home, rejection after rejection, rejection after countless rejections. I have never counted, otherwise I would have written another book on those prospects. So a rebel streak was there. I told, are we living in a racist country? I believe that our community is the biggest racist people in this world who don't want to marry a girl who doesn't have a fair complexion, good height, or fat dowry. So, no takers. I said, okay, strong. The circumstances had made me so strong that I said, okay, forget marriage. Let me live my life peacefully, happily, and I was happy. And I felt it was very regretful, I felt very cheated, I felt very defeated, and I felt that even a class 10 pass woman is rejecting me based on these things. So, that as goes the destiny, when time came, I got married. Now I was married, I had a career and I had a family. So, times changed. This way, I am very glad that I am witness to the change, not the transformation, the evolution of Indian women, Indian girls who don't believe in this kind of exhibitionism. They give no right to anybody to judge how they look, how they walk, how they talk, whether they can cook, whether they can take care of the house and the family. They are not succumbing to this kind of exhibitionism which existed in my times. So, girls are empowered, they are physically, mentally, emotionally and financially empowered. They know from the day one what kind of life they are going to lead. So, this is the change, this is the generational change, and I am very glad that I am witness to this change from very close quarters. So, while in India, this was the scenario. Globally, when we talk of Sustainable Development Goals 2030, they cannot be achieved if the women are not empowered to the true sense of the term. Women are mothers. Women nurture children. Women run families. Women take care of the cattle. Women take care of the fields. So, they are contributing a great deal to the planet Earth, making it green, making it flourish, making it livable for the generations to come. So how can we ignore their contribution? So they need all our support, they need all the resources, they need all skill set developments and fully integrated support system by the nations of this world and by the citizens of this world. So, we should make it a program that if we come across any such women who need our help and who need some kind of upliftment, we should come forward and help them. We as women, but even Indian women or global men need a role to play here. They need to come out of that mindset, how their mothers were, how their grandmothers were. Today's girls are not like that. So they need to change this mindset that women are not for housework. Even if they are doing housework, they are contributing a great deal to the economy. Today we see in India, a lot of women are working The change is noteworthy, praiseworthy, commendable. Only 17% women, 17% is being contributed by working women to the GDP of the country, whereas globally this figure is 37%. So we are catching up, women are joining. It is a great scenario now, and we should help them, and we should help as a nation, as citizens, to lift women. The upliftment of women is our responsibility. ये हम सबकी जिम्मेदारी है. हम किसी भी रोल में हो, हमें ये जिम्मेदारी उठानी ही है, उठानी ही चाहिए. So this was my journey. You can notice the struggle and how I have come up from a complete nobody to somebody, from being a corporate communication professional all my life and a writer during my sabbatical, and I am enjoying my life during this sabbatical. So, as goes the saying, my mother always says that जो लाइफ तुम्हारी है, जो तुमने अचीव किया है, वो बहुत सारी औरतों का ड्रीम है. बहुत सी लेडीज़ ये सोचती हैं कि काश मैं भी तुम्हारे जैसा लिख सकती, या तुम्हारे जैसा कुछ बता सकती, या तुम्हारे जैसी लाइफ लीड कर सकती. तो डोंट हैव एनी रिग्रेट्स इन लाइफ, बिकॉज रिग्रेट्स लीड यू नो वेयर. ऑलवेज थिंक पॉजिटिवली, always think forward, always think ahead. There is no looking back. Looking back never helps. Yes, if you are learning something from it, it's great. But if you are dejected, like I was for a very, very long time, I was very dejected at those periods. But I came up, I broke my shackles, I said break free, do whatever you want to, make your life lead it. So ladies, be happy always. And I am very, very thankful to Thought Habitat for giving me this opportunity to speak my mind on women empowerment, my life journey, and they have always been a big support to me when it comes to expressing myself. Thank you. Be happy always, all the ladies, everyone. Thank you.